Hi, this is Kyle Schwarber, and welcome to the Phillies Show.
Ruben Amaro Jr., Jim Salisbury, Todd Zalecki. It's the Phillies Show. It is Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. Jim, we might have a little are you feeling optimistic? Are you feeling a little upbeat? Because Dave Dombrowski yesterday used the word optimism regarding Kyle Schwarber's free agency.
Well, you must be feeling optimistic because that's 2 days in a row you've used the Kyle Schwarber lead into the Phillies Show. But I am feeling so optimistic that I've brought a prop to today's show.
Okay.
And here it comes down the street.
If you're watching this on YouTube, there's a bus.
I have a bad wheel on that bus.
Yeah, that's a bad wheel.
Show you this side. That's the Schwarber bus pulling into the station.
So yesterday, Monday, Jim, at the winter meetings, we're up in Dave Dombrowski's suite, the Phillies suite, and we're talking to him. And the question was posed, how do you feel about negotiations right now with the two big guys, meaning Schwarber and J.T.? And Dave used the word optimism. And, you know, we've been covering Dave a long time and just GMs a long time. And a lot of times they'll deflect, well, you know, it's a process. But the fact that he said there's some optimism, to me, jumped out at me immediately. And then in my conversations here, talking to people inside, outside the organization, people that are familiar with Schwarber's thinking, he believes that, you know, they are going to get something done at some point with the Phillies. What do you think? What do you hear?
Yeah. I agree with you. The fact that Dave used the word optimism is very encouraging, very kind of telltale, because, you know, I think we had all heard there might have been some frustration with maybe the pace of things in recent weeks. And I think that's natural. It's the byplay of a negotiation. But everything I hear, it's narrowing down on Philadelphia and a return. Many signs, and, you know, I've heard the Phillies expect a decision this week, and I've seen signs that, like I said, the bus is pulling back into Philadelphia. So that's you know, and I saw you wrote, like, they want a decision. They need a decision because they need to, you know, need to start moving on to plan Bs before they start disappearing, and Kyle and his agent, Casey Closer, they're very respectful gentlemen. They understand that you can't hold a team hostage forever. They're not. I think they operate in good faith. So yeah, all signs point to something being resolved, a resolution this week, and just overwhelming evidence and feel and just talking to people and signs. And this is what you do as a reporter. You put all the pieces together and you come up with a bigger puzzle, and every little puzzle piece seems to have a big red P on it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, things can change. Of course, the Red Sox could wake up today and go, you know, we're not going to get Pete Alonso. Let's just go crazy and just make sure we get Kyle Schwarber. So you never know what can change. But the teams that have reportedly are reportedly involved or are involved, the Reds, the Pirates, the Red Sox, the Mets, the Orioles have been mentioned. I can say just from being here, some of those teams that are involved, they are hopeful, but they're also not optimistic. They're kind of like, listen, we're giving our best shot here. We're trying our best to get Kyle Schwarber. We would love him, but even they think, again, just from what I understand, even they think that he's going to go back to Philadelphia. Who knows? I mean, maybe we're on here, Jim, later this week going, your bus with the broken wheel, man. It's going to be 4 broken wheels on it, you know? But
yeah, anything you know, Ed Wade used to say a deal is not done until it's done. You know, you can be on the, you know, in the red zone on the 1 yard line and something can go wrong. But the general feel is it's going to happen, and they can start moving on to other things because they have other pieces of this roster that need to be put together.
Yeah, I should mention that Dave, when he used the word optimism, he included JT Realmuto in that sentence. So, I've heard less buzz about JT at the meetings. Obviously, Schwarber is the big piece that needs to fall. It seems like, he's kind of that once he goes down, then you're going to have Bregman break and Bichette break and Alonso break certain different directions. But, maybe the Phillies are confident that they can get something done with JT as well. So that would not – they're two big pieces off the board as they try to find other ways then to kind of work on the roster.
Yeah, and these are guys with young kids. I think young families, young family men, and I think they want to have things wrapped up before Christmas. And I actually think Schwarber, his family might be growing this month. I think he's due to have a baby. He and his wife due to have another child this month. So just a lot of reasons to believe that they want to put a bow on this thing. And I think a lot of people will be happy on both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, if you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Helps support the show, grow the show. We appreciate all of your support. And, of course, with the holidays rolling around, coming up soon, it's December 9th. Shopping days are running out. Go to the phillyshowshop.com, scan the QR code on your screen, and right now, use the promo code HOLIDAY, Jim, and you can get 10% off everything in the store. So a lot of cool stuff there. Another piece of interesting news, Jim, that came out of Dave Dombrowski's suite on Monday was something that you first mentioned as a possibility. Man, what was that? Early last month? GM meetings? Dave, I'm talking about Don Mattingly becoming the new Phillies bench coach.
Yeah. I think he was the guy they targeted from day one. And I think basically the ball's been in Don Mattingly's court all along, and he's been, mulling things over. And it sounds like it's going to happen. He's going to become their bench coach.
Yeah, so we were talking earlier about how, it's no mistake when Dave says optimism about Schwarber and JT. There's a reason why he's saying that. He ain't
going to shine people on.
Yeah, we didn't leave the room to go, oh my God, why did I say that? So he knows something regarding Don Mattingly. He goes, now listen, nothing's done yet, but we're really hopeful Don Mattingly is going to sign, and we're going to get this thing done. So, I mean, Don Mattingly, unless something insane happens, is going to be the new Phillies bench coach, which is something that I think they wanted, they need. A guy with big league experience, tons of managerial experience, tons of coaching experience, and in my opinion, a Hall of Fame baseball career.
Yeah. That's timely. It was disappointing to see him not get in. I'm still hopeful he gets in someday. I think it's a richly deserved honor, and who knows, maybe he can add to his resume here if the Phillies can finally get over the hump and win a World Series. I think he's going to be a valuable contributor. Another set of eyes in the dugout, and he'll bring a lot of cred to that coaching staff, because there's not a lot of major league playing experience on that coaching staff, and it's been noticed in some corners of the clubhouse over the years. Well, nobody can shake a stick at that experience.
Right, exactly. Now, Dave Dombrowski did say something interesting regarding this hire. He said, well, first he's like, listen, I've had long conversations with Don, of course, Rob Thompson, Preston Mattingly, who is, it's Don's son. And he said, just to make sure everybody's comfortable with this situation. And Rob Thompson was in the suite on Monday and said, oh yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. I have no reservations at all. Preston Mattingly joked that now when he and his dad go get dinner, he can put it on the old expense account because it's a business meal. But Dave did also say this, Jim, and this is something we might have discussed this on the show, I believe, right? He says, listen, some people might wonder if, having that direct link into the front office could be an issue in the clubhouse. He's like, I think Don has enough credibility. Preston has enough credibility where I don't think there's going to be any direct, hey, this is what I'm hearing. This is what's going on in the clubhouse straight to the front office. That's something that he felt he needed to say, Dave Dombrowski.
Yeah, and it's something, I wondered about from the moment I heard they were considering him. And I think they only had eyes for him. I think he's the guy they focused on and the guy they wanted and the guy they were willing to wait for or are willing to wait for. But yeah, I mean, the GM is his son. So you wonder if it's going to be interpreted as him being a clubhouse, a front office operative in the clubhouse. You wonder about how he's going to be perceived by the players. I'm not saying he's going to be that.
Right.
But the more I think about it, that's just, to me, it's not a concern because, when I first started covering baseball, there were not many people in the clubhouse. You had, a couple athletic trainers, a couple equipment men, and four coaches and a manager. Now there's, tons of people. You can't shake a stick without seeing a person in uniform that, is a new face almost every day. So if the front office wants to find out stuff, what's going on in their clubhouse, they can find out stuff. So
that's a great point.
Don Mattingly is gonna be here, and where he is at a stage of his career, there's no ego. Rob Thompson, there's no ego. They're all about how can we get this thing to the finish line? How can we win this World Series that's been elusive and go deeper into the postseason? Things that have been elusive, and it's like I don't think those type of personalities care who gets credit and who gets what. They just want to be there for the team. And I think it would be a unbelievable, great story if Don Mattingly's first World Series came working under his son. I think it would be a fabulous human story that I would love to witness, to be honest with you. And I think it could be like a storybook. So Don Mattingly, a very honorable man. Rob Thompson, a very honorable man. I don't think Rob's going to be looking over his shoulder. Rob, how secure he is.
Yeah.
There's also this element. He was going to retire a couple of years ago. That he's very at peace where his career is, and the focus is on one thing: a World Series. How can we do it? And the more help we can get doing it, for as long as we're all moving in the right direction, is a good thing. So I personally think this is a good hire. It's kind of a Dave Dombrowski hire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I go back to that quote at the winter meetings a couple of years ago. You win with stars.
That's right.
Love that quote. They have stars. They haven't won the big one yet, but Don Mattingly is another star, and he'll pitch in his way. And I think he's going to be a good contributor to this team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just, he is a star, man. Like, for me growing up as a kid, Don Mattingly, I mean, come on, 1985 New York Yankees. Cow. He was on This Week in Baseball, Jim. Every Saturday morning he was on This Week in Baseball.
Dun, dun, dun. I loved when Steinbrenner was giving him crap about his hair being too long. In the back. It was not even long.
They turned that into a famous bit on The Simpsons, of course, which Don gets asked about a lot. I mean, Preston has been asked about that Simpson episode, I know. But yeah, I think it's going to be exciting. And you're right. It would be a great story. Like, you can just see that image of like father and son embracing on the field after a World Series championship, and just the joy on their faces.
It'd be like Jerry Kramer looking up at Vince Lombardi.
I like that image, Jim. Huh? That's a good image. I like that image. Absolutely.
See, we're just that's why we got in this business. We're suckers for a good story.
Absolutely. I mean, those are the things that you love to write about. You love to see. It's just so much. That's what makes the job really fun. Are moments like those that you can kind of capture that moment, talk to the people, and just see the joy on their faces, and just have then Phillies fans kind of read about it the next day or that day.
So it sounds like the Mattingly bus is pulling into the station.
I'd say the Mattingly bus is like basically already in the garage. Almost in the garage. The Schwarber bus is maybe kind of rolling down the street, maybe a little bit.
I think, yeah, it feels like it's on its way.
Feels like it. Now, yeah, we'll see. A couple other things I wanted to mention is that Dave used this word again regarding Nick Castellanos. He says, we are looking for a change of scenery for him. And again, this is now the third time I'm saying on the show, but when the president of baseball operations is saying we're looking for a change of scenery, that means this guy is not coming back. this guy is not coming back. Now, are they going to be able to trade him? A lot of people, Nick wanted to go to the Miami Marlins a few years ago. The Phillies outbid the Marlins by what, like $60 million or so?
Wow.
Merry
Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. So he goes to the Phillies, but he was originally interested in going to the Marlins. So, they would be a great fit, but it does not sound like the Marlins are interested right now in Nick Castellanos. I know Peter Bendix was asked on MLB Network about guys with local ties, and he kind of sidestepped the question. So that, I don't think there's much interest on the Marlins side. And quite frankly, I don't know how much interest they're going to get at all on him. I've heard some people talk about, man, his defense is just so bad in right field. And, boy, oh boy. I feel like, I don't know, maybe they could pull off something soon, but I feel like if any trade goes down for Nick Castellanos, it's going to happen later in the offseason. And then if not, they probably release him.
Yeah, I agree. If a deal happens, it'll be later when a lot of those right-handed bats find a home, and then if there's an opening and some team takes a shot on them, with the Phillies eating a significant portion. Otherwise, the Phillies would release them. I mean, this whole thing is just, they've been too open talking about, change of scenery, and it's expected. And, I think they know with all of that chatter, you just can't bring him to spring training because it'll become a sideshow.
Yeah.
And if he's not going to be part of your team, you can't get him the playing time in spring training because other guys need it, and they need the at-bats. The guys are going to be there. So, he'll get that change of scenery and just find out what is the vehicle, a trade or a release, and when. But I agree with you. It seems like it'll be down the road a little bit.
Yeah. So, okay. So we'll see what happens on Tuesday at the winter meetings. I know Rob Thompson is every winter meetings. They have these manager availabilities. Rob Thompson's going to have his availability Tuesday afternoon. Of course, we're going to talk to Dave Dombrowski in the suite later. Maybe he'll have some news. Maybe he'll drop some more encouraging words of optimism and whatnot. So we'll be back on Wednesday morning to do it one more time from the winter meetings.
Awesome. Well, great talking to you. We'll see what happens, and smell you later.
Smell you.
The Philly Show is brought to you by the Foul Territory Network. Subscribe to The Philly Show on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.